We back at it. Back in that water again. We don't demonstrate, bitch, we penetrate. The dive instructor and the splash specialist back in that water, baby. Once again, shout out to the whole Swaggle Room crew and its affiliates. Deeper Dive Dialogue Unlimited back in your mix. What it is, what it does, and what it was. Yeah.
What a time.
Sarate. Yeah.
Hey.
What's going on?
Too much.
Yeah,
we can only talk about so much.
Yeah, but today we're gonna talk about collapses. Two in particular, both tragic, nonetheless.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Both tragic, man. I got a couple other things I wanted to throw in there if you want. Candace Owens no longer being with the Daily Wire, and
word
Vince McMahon dropping deuces. And I don't mean these kind.
Deuces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, we got the raid on Diddy's properties.
I mean, that's kind of there's a segue you can go into that with the Vince McMahon and the Diddy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So our shit's on the bitch.
Wow. I mean, it was a Diddy artist that kind of made that mention in a very famous
skit.
Mm.
Just saying.
Hot, steamy piles of garbage. Anyhow.
That part. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
For sure.
So let's kick it off, man. Where you want to start? Let's what you want to do?
We might as well just go to it's all sad, but I mean, might as well just start off with the saddest first, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Yeah. That's tragic, man. Real tragic.
Man, my heart goes out to the families.
Definitely.
Oh, man. Be more. Will never be the same.
Definitely. Word.
Man,
Word.
I want to hear your take on it, man. I haven't really watched but a few different things on the situation besides when, the news hit social media, being that it occurred at 1 a.m. First thing that morning, man, the first thing I saw, that was that bridge coming down. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Man, to be honest with you, I didn't hear about it until like really late. And I'm talking about maybe last night, you know what I'm saying? But still tragic nonetheless, yeah, from what I gathered from it, I didn't realize that it happened at like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just like during the morning, of course, but I'm thinking maybe like 7:30 in the morning or something, but 1:30 in the morning. Yeah. Last I read, they were saying that I guess that the workers were on break in their cars when it happened.
Which workers? The bridge workers or the
bridge workers?
Oh,
I guess they were in their cars on break when it happened. So it was like of
Wow.
course, they were caught off guard as well. You know what I'm saying? So
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
it was, and the really tragic part about it is the majority of the people who were affected or who like fell in and lost their lives were all related.
Mm,
Yeah,
how's
all
that?
related. All related.
Wow.
And from what I read, they were all of they were none of them were from this country. They were all from Central America.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Either way, that's tragic. That's beyond tragic, but
right. So now
incredible
there's all
on to
these
that.
there are all these conspiracy theories going around, and there was a video going around on, I want to say it was TikTok or something, that was saying that there were like explosives going off, but they said that they did all kind of fact checks on that video
Yeah.
and it was all false.
Oh, I agree. Uh, that's a new one. I mean, of course, with what's already occurred here in this country with 9/11, I mean, you can't rule certain things out until you know that they're not at play.
Oh yeah, no
You know?
doubt.
But yeah, oh wow. Well, I have a relative that is a merchant mariner. He travels aboard ships like that all the time. We go
Hmm.
contracts, and he said he thought it was an accident, but there were some things that weren't really. I didn't hear them talked about in any of the stories or coverage on the story. And that is, on a barge like that or a ship like that, usually someone would have tried to drop anchor once they realized that there was no steering, and
Okay.
with the intermittent loss of power going in and out, it would seem like the captain would have ordered someone to drop anchor to slow down the momentum of the ship before it would make contact with parts of the bridge. The other thing was, he did. My cousin didn't bring this up, a relative, but didn't bring this up. But I saw some coverage earlier today where a person who may have some knowledge on how those ships operate when they're in certain waters, and they were saying that the first thing he noticed was that the ship size alone would barely clear
That part.
the underpass of the bridge, and then
That part.
the cargo was stacked so high.
That part as well.
It's like, how do you not know that before you try to maneuver through that area of the bay?
I mean, not trying to like be funny or be on some like TV stuff, but
Right.
shit. Watching season 2 of The Wire, I knew that shit wasn't gonna hold. Dead ass.
I mean, it came down quick.
Yeah, and I mean, just the fact that the fact that it was happened in Baltimore, and then it was talking about
Yeah.
Patapsco, dude. That's that season 2 of The Wire right there, bro.
Damn, you're right.
That's all season 2, son.
I got
All
I
season
got
2.
no arguments or
And
opposing points
then
of view on
then
that.
when you look at that boat and what was on there, that's season 2.
Wasn't it carrying vehicles?
They had all kind of
All
shit on
kinds
that
of
boat.
stuff, right?
All kinds of stuff on them boats. So that makes me think, what was on the boat?
Right.
What all was on that boat?
So you are you suggesting there could possibly allegedly be a distraction that would have been great enough to drop something off unseen during the chaos, or
I mean, again, I don't know. I'm just asking a question on that. You know what I'm saying? I
that's a
don't
good
know
question.
because again, like I said, I just heard about this like not too long ago. Like
Gotcha.
this just hit me. You know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha. Well, that's an interesting bit of hearsay because there may be something behind it that's evidentiary to what occurred. It could be. Wow. Wow. Very interesting.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
and
Go ahead.
not to cut you, but the
No,
only
you could.
reason why I'm even saying that is because me thinking, not even with the conspiracies or whatever, but even with that whole Wire season 2, you got to think one of them, a few of them episodes, like one of the main underplots of that whole season was the fact that they was, and damn, I just thought about this ties into the other subject. They was trafficking girls across waters, bruh.
Wow. Yeah, because I mean, if there was those cargo containers, a lot of times there are human beings of various, backgrounds and genders. Well, of course, the main
But
genders,
yeah,
but nonetheless,
right.
yeah.
So yeah,
Mm, wow. That's usually that's one of my main thought processes with the way the world unfortunately has been presented. Not that it
right.
hasn't been this way, but it's just a lot of these things have become more and more evident to the public at large, and some of us that started to notice these things, popping up, some time ago. But wow, that is very interesting. So do you have a number? Did you catch a number of deceased or
Um, I think they said it was like 8 that were missing.
yeah, I've heard
They
several
retrieved, I want to say 2
too.
thus far.
Mm,
And I know that there were like 4 who they were like, yeah, we don't know nothing. And from what I had read, it was like out of the 4 that were missing, one of the survivors that was like their brother or brother-in-law or something like that was one of the ones that was missing. So yeah, it's all kind of messed up, and that's so tragic. You know what I'm saying? So tragic.
the thing that's most tragic of it all is number one, how easily the bridge came down. I'm going to point that out.
That part.
The other thing that was disturbing after talking with my relative that's in that industry is the amount of ships that get pushed beyond the brink of their capacity of performance due to companies wanting to save money and not put them in the shipyard and decommission them for action until they're fully um, green lighted, for transport. Uh,
Man, that makes me think of everything that gets pushed to the brink of performance because of companies that want to save money. Not just ships, but parts of
Boeing,
the making in the ships. Yeah, the planes as well.
Boeing, you have former employees saying they wouldn't fly on a Boeing if you paid them, and they were getting
Right.
paid to work on it, and they were saying the corners that were cut, the ones that know, it's just like I've worked in automobile
Bruh,
manufacturing.
I
I
could
know.
I could I could tell you some stories of back in the day.
Hmm.
Facts. I ain't gonna say nothing but
Right, right.
facts. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh,
back in the day, yeah,
yeah.
facts.
It's incredible. It's like man, the neglect. There we go. The neglect of maintenance could have been the root cause of all of this. You know, not even getting into the conspiratory side, which some of our audience, I'm sure, would want to hear. But we got nothing. There's no evidence of any cyber interference or hacking. There's, at least that has been presented to the public in any of the coverage. They've ruled that out. Not saying that it's impossible for that to be, you know, linked at some point in time, maybe after some further investigation. But I mean, it looks like shoddy engineering and neglect on the side of, the shipping company,
There
whoever
are
it may
some
be.
that miscalculations.
Yeah. Well, those miscalculations could be connected to equipment failure.
That too. You're right about that.
But nonetheless,
Absolutely.
that's still a chain of command aboard the ship that would have been beyond a mayday. Mayday, mayday, we've lost control. Like, what are you going to do? You got cars traveling across the bridge at what, 50, 55, maybe 60 miles an hour. I
Yeah.
don't know what the speed limit is on or was on the Francis Scott Key Bridge, but we could probably find that online, Google. But
Right.
how at that last minute is that's when you decide to alert someone. You know, that is fishy.
I mean, it's you have to also take into consideration as well what with the crew aboard the ship, aboard the cargo ship. If you've seen this happening and what steps were taken, why was the steps taken that late to, you know what I'm saying, make any type
Yes.
of moves? Like what was going on that ship?
Right. And one thing is that I was told, by someone in the industry is, the what's the word I'm looking for? The fail safes. You got someone on the deck that's always watching and relaying back what they're seeing. You have, of course, the engine personnel that are controlling the power or um, the distribution of the power. You have, the person who's in control of the anchor. You have the captain who's steering or navigating. And so for them, if they lost steering and they were losing power, you all you have is the anchor, from what I
Yeah,
understand. I could be completely wrong. Someone watching this or comes on later to watch this at a different time, comment, give us a comment below. Like, share, subscribe, by the way. Though, we look like we had a viewer on here just a second ago, but as you tune in, hopefully you'll join us, join our community through locals that's connected with our Rumble. Um, check us out on rumble.com, Deeper Dives Dialogue Unlimited podcast. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. Backslash Jay.Drewz 3692. That's for both of us. It's just has my one of my monikers for the title, y'all. But yeah, thank you for your support. Thank you for the 3 new subscribers to the channel. Um,
definitely. We
um,
spreading y'all like
yes,
butter.
yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Um, yeah, man, sad situation in Baltimore, man. Um,
Very sad.
you know, heart goes out to you. Thoughts, prayers, positive energy,
Definitely.
regenerative energy, recoupment energy. Stay strong. Be careful. Pay attention to what's going on around you, Baltimore, and anywhere else here in the states. We're in some tricky times.
Very.
There's a lot of civil unrest, a lot of things not being reported. Some things are, a lot of fear mongering, a lot of divisiveness. Keep your eyes open, man. If you in the big city, man, and you don't feel right, get your family out. You don't got to ask nobody permission yet. Yet.
And why does it have to be yet?
We know what's coming, man. We know what's the high possibility of coming. I mean, nothing is absolutely certain until it occurs, but or plays out. But hey, just pay attention, y'all. You feel the need to go, follow that instinct. Um, woo, McMahon. WWE superstars. So, in case you haven't heard, probably most of you have caught wind of something or another, even if you're not a wrestling fan. I grew up on WWF, which apparently had some conflict with World Wildlife Federation, and so they had to change the name. Man, where do we begin? So the
Well, we
CEO,
can start with it saying now it stands for Wild Within Defecation.
WWD, dropping deuces on them.
We're just playing with that, but
Yeah. And no
you man,
disrespect to the victim either. No, I don't
yeah,
mean any to make light of your suffering at all. We're pulling
yeah,
for you. Those of us with a heart, we want to see you win. We know it's not about money.
definitely.
Uh, Degradation and the loss of one's dignity is beyond repair with finances, but hopefully it will help you afford to not worry about everything else in life so you can get the help you deserve and that you need
And your peace
after.
of mind back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. So Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis are being accused. Is this in a civil suit, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
For sexual assault allegations. Um, Very disturbing stuff. This young lady was put through. I'm gonna. Do you know her name? Let me find her name uh, real quick.
But here's a question: it hasn't been nothing criminal brought up on this yet, or anything.
You see, that's what I'm trying to find out. It says lawsuit. Um, yeah, it's a lawsuit, but let's see. Hmm. I know her name was in the video, but I don't want to catch any copyright
Uh,
violations.
Indeed.
Let's see here. Let's find the claimant victim. Um, Janelle Grant. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Miss Grant was employed by Mr. McMahon. Uh, Apparently as an administrative something over the legal department, but uh, let's see here. Administrator coordinator of the legal department. She's filed a lawsuit. She was the head of talent relations. No, sorry, the head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis, is also named as a co-defendant in this lawsuit. So you already know the allegations would involve the two of them at times separately and both and that also together allegedly assaulting Ms. Grant against her will. Uh, uh, the allegations within the lawsuits roughly state that over and over again she would cry no, stop, and they would tell her that no meant yes, one or the other, and both would hold her down while the other engaged in S acts against her will with her. She was coerced into a sexual relationship with allegedly with Mr. McMahon, and I say Mr. loosely, um, by him befriending her after the loss of her parents, who she was caregiver to both of. You know, you take someone in a vulnerable situation um, and turn them out, as we used to say back in the day. This is just tragic, horrific allegations. The punchline within the the title for or the description for the pod today was he's dropping deuces. So of course, defecation is named as one of the defiling and disgusting acts. Allegedly, Mr. McMahon stood up during one of the sexual interactions that was taking place involving also his physical therapist. Um, he defecates on the head of all things, of this woman, and then says, "I'm gonna go shower. You guys continue on. I'll be back." And he goes and rinses himself off and comes back to re-engage and pick up where he left off with the other assailant. This is just
Mm, mm, mm.
massively depraved activities. Um, your thoughts, man?
Dude, that's foul as ever.
Yeah,
That I
absolutely.
mean, and I'm not trying to make light of any other situation, but because no one situation is better than any other, but we thought peeing on somebody was bad.
Hmm. Yeah,
Foul.
absolutely foul. Sounds like these Hollywood stories we're hearing about, the diddler and some others, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Most definitely. Most definitely. But the narrative
Mm,
and the way it's being handled
okay.
are two totally separate handlings. I'm just going to say that
Okay. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
because reading on the other case is, again, as I just stated, no one case is better than the other.
Hmm.
They're all foul, they're all disgusting. I think I speak for both of us when I say this. We don't condone none of this shit.
At all.
None of it at all.
Period.
And even though some may say alleged, I think I don't know, but still allegedly. Um, like I said, they're being handled in totally different ways. What I read about the Puff Daddy case or situation is that Homeland Security has raided two of this man's houses.
That's what they said. Homeland Security. My bad. I said Fed. I got to change that. Sorry, family. Yeah.
But
Yep.
Homeland Security, now it's for what they're saying, trafficking of like sex work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which again,
Human trafficking.
foul as ever, foul as
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And now when I was reading it, it said rapper and entrepreneur. Now we're gonna stop it right there for a second.
Okay. Okay. I like where you're going with.
Now,
Okay.
now, now this show is called Deeper Dives, right? So
Facts.
we're gonna go into it a little bit real quick.
Indeed.
Okay, now, because this kind of tie, not kind of, this actually does tie into it. As of some breaking news that we just got, says that 50 Cent is now seeking sole custody of his son because of his mom was supposedly one of the sex workers for Puff Daddy, supposedly,
Have a baby.
allegedly.
Have a baby by me, baby. Be a millionaire.
Now, this is information that I'm about to drop. I actually got from reading 50 Cent's latest book. Now,
Okay.
he said himself, and this is actually true. He said that now anything that I do that's positive in media or whatever, they say 50 Cent or whatever, the mogul. Anything negative I do is rapper. Now,
Gotcha.
why is that the case with this? Rapper / entrepreneur. Okay, entrepreneur. Okay, yeah, but rapper?
That's not even. I mean, he has performed raps, right, on records, even of his own records as the artist. But we all know that that is not what his forte is.
I mean,
That is the executive producer,
he's a brand,
deal maker. Right, he is. True indeed.
but also in reading the article that I read, they got all this man's like all of his aliases broken down. Like, dude is doing welfare fraud and check scams and shit. Dude, they have his like he went by Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. We all know this shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So you tell us that we don't know. Like, dude, stop. Again, I'm not saying that anything stuff is not foul because it is.
Right.
But you telling us on some play-by-play stuff like, well, yeah, you know, I was seeing him steal a nickel from somebody when he was 5.
Well, you know that
Dude.
always comes out when it's.
But again, like I'm saying, the narrative is fucked up. Because why is it this way for him, but not for the other one when it's proven that this dude can shit on somebody?
Listen, I'm with you to a point. Now, here's where I branch off at that fork. Just like the other person I brought up that we were going to talk about, Candace Owens. There's people saying the door is shut. They're all speaking as if we're a monolithic community and that we have common interests, even though we do, but we don't often share them with one another or build together to reach a goal on those things. Yeah. Some people want to kick Candace out and take her black card. Why not Diddy? Why do we always jump to that other side of, oh, well, this guy's not being handled that way? Well, he wasn't worried about it before he sued Ciroc.
I feel you on that, but this is my thing. This is my thing with that.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's the fact that I don't disagree with anything that you're saying or what they're saying.
Okay.
But it's the fact that, how can I word this? It's that we always air out our dirty laundry in front of company. They don't.
Interesting that you bring that up. I'm trying to find the words to approach this because I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute. If you swear an oath to a club of people that don't look like you and you receive the extended benefits and privileges of being a part of that club, how is it that you get to come back? Or that how is it that you still deserve because of the skin folk attachment, the defense of others who have not even reached that level of success, notoriety, or connectivity to more than just the basic resources of life? It's the same thing. If you really think about it, you're talking about a guy who ruined the culture, in my opinion. I was so mad at what he did to hip hop. I don't get any pleasure out of seeing his downfall. Don't get me wrong, even though I predicted it 2 years ago. And for the past 2 years, I've been, here and there. Let's talk about it. The thing is, dude, how many lives have you destroyed outside of these cases and these allegations?
Yeah, I feel you
and
on
why
that too.
Can't we bring up our own traitors or people who've been destroying parts of our culture for the benefit of themselves? What is wrong about that? When you have, and I know everyone doesn't have this view, right? When you have a power struggle, I'm gonna put it politely,
No,
PC.
you're not wrong about that, because in reading that article, I played the devil's advocate and I was like, real talk. He's been doing this for a while and he sounds like he could actually be a white person if you close your eyes and didn't know who he was for real.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the relationship with Clive, and I'll leave that basic
Yeah,
because
no doubt.
you know I don't do that kind of digging. Uh, the relationship with Andre Harrell that led to the relationship with Clive, we'll put it that way, and then to now Ron Burkle, the one that they call him his goddaddy
Mm-hmm.
through his coming out party.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of us missed the announcement, but
Right.
I mean, you have billionaire backers and support more money than God, as the saying goes. Gene Deal, I was watching an interview with him earlier today just to see what he was weighing in on with this whole situation as it currently has been developing. And he's like, basically, he has more than enough money to pay his way out. But what drew the attention, many believe, was that lawsuit against Ciroc. And I can't say that that's absolutely the cause, but I want to say it's probably 90%. I mean, look at what happened to Kobe. If he's not suing that pharmaceutical company, does he die in a helicopter with his daughter? I mean, was if he's not suing Ciroc, does his house, not only his houses get raided, but do his sons get cuffed and treated like common criminals for being at home?
So what's the
I don't
what's
think it's
the what's
all
what's
right.
the what's
You get
what's
what
the
I'm saying? I don't
backstory on him
think it's
suing Ciroc though?
um
For everybody who doesn't know.
you got me on that one. I haven't really even researched far into that one, but I will tell you when he parted ways with Sir Rock, there was a certain amount of money he felt he was owed and he did not receive. So he was suing for those um those funds, from what I understand. They did not like that. They wanted to put him in his place. But they couldn't break him because, like I said, he's got too much backing. You know, he's got too much foresight. This is not an ignorant man. This is not a an ignoramus or a person that doesn't have intelligence. You know, so I'm not saying that they're not carrying out certain things in a way that is biased. Not, I'm not going to say that at all because that I would agree with you on. But when you put yourself in that position, in that strata, by the other deals and moves that you've made, the other people that you've screwed over. When the chickens come home to roost, why is why is there a shock and awe? You know what I mean?
Well, honestly, this sounds like next level Bill Cosby.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
What it
It's,
sounds like.
it's that Bill had a mansion sitting on an estate that was on top of oil. They used the
Who
NBC.
says who says he doesn't?
Oh yeah, no, he does. They wanted to buy it, he wouldn't sell it, and then he went to buy NBC.
No, I'm saying who says that Puffy doesn't have
Oh,
one?
who does? Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I'm just saying. It doesn't negate whether a person though is involved in criminal or debaucherous. Debauchery is not necessarily a crime, but a debaucherous, lascivious, criminal behaviors or actions or activities. It doesn't one doesn't justify the other, right? But at the same time, you can't use the conspiracy conveniently, right? When there's a track record of witnesses. You know, were there other women saying Cosby assaulted them in the past? Yes, there were. It was brought up about 3 different times over 3 decades. Do I think Bill Cosby did what they allege? Absolutely not. It's different when it comes to Diddy.
I mean, I figure like this. I'm not saying whether he did or he didn't. I wasn't there.
Me
I
either.
don't know. I'm not saying I care about it. I mean, unless, again, if it was unconsensual, then that's different. What people do behind their closed doors, consenting is their business. Like I said, if it's unconsensual, then I ain't with it. But in the sense of being drunk with power, because I honestly think that's what this all boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
When you get drunk with power, you start to feel invincible. When you get that money along with that power, feel like you're more invincible. Money brings that power. That's what I feel.
I was wrong. Let me stand corrected. Okay. The Diddy lawsuit against Ciroc was based on racial discrimination. Yeah. It's a British beverage company that co-owns his liquor brands. And he's claiming that the spirits giant Diageo was kneecapped his Ciroc and De Leon labels sales growth for almost a decade and starved them of resources while better marketing its other brands such as Don Julio and Casamigos. So that's what it was about. Apologize, y'all. I don't want to ever intentionally or ignorantly give you misinformation at all.
Okay, well, that explains it because honestly, I thought it was something different.
Yeah, no.
No, I thought the lawsuit was legit. I honestly thought that they dropped him.
No. Yeah. They, how can I explain it? It was not. I don't want to say mutual, but I mean, it was a. You know how you say like an uncomfortable work environment.
Yeah.
The whole nature of the deal was soured because.
Nah, I thought they dropped him for a conspiracy theory that I had.
Oh, I got you.
A
Okay.
wild conspiracy theory, bro. I thought it was some wild shit.
Hey, listen. The truth is stranger than fiction at times.
You know how like you might be just thinking and you see something and you like, wait a minute. And you start to like make dots connect. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I'm like, oh snap. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I just never spoke on it.
Got it.
We could speak afterwards on that, but yeah, I thought it was something else. Totally.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I would.
Totally.
And listen, I wasn't there either. You know what I mean? And I would just say my opinions about the persona, because I don't know the person.
Right.
That's a person who gets drunk off of power. Part of the hilarity behind Dave Chappelle's skits that affected other people's careers that were in making the band that are mad at Dave to this day because he pointed out a disturbing
Dylon.
Yeah, you know. Shout out to Dylon and spit hot fire. But yeah, man, he highlighted the ridiculousness of the Diddy power trip. And that was just on a light-hearted level, but when you listen to what some of the other band members said was going on when they were being hazed, and that style of hazing is reminiscent of the boule, the Divine Nine.
Yeah.
And I have some friends that are still parts of those organizations, and I just have to tell the truth anyhow. I mean, it really reminds you of Hell Week and the Burning Sands and all of that, but you adding some other darker aspects when you got someone dealing with body fluids or defecation in order to reach a certain point of satisfaction of this person's ego in order to advance or to have access to certain resources in order to
Yeah.
promote yourself as an artist or better yourself in the craft. But hey, I wasn't there. Everybody has their story. Hmm.
Word.
Hmm.
Word. But yeah, they said that they raided his cribs. It's a whole bunch of shit, man. Like, and
Yeah.
then he went on Twitter and said, "Oh, enough is enough," and I'm not guilty of any of these allegations and all this stuff.
Hmm.
Mm.
His
And
attorney,
everybody,
his
my
attorney
thing is,
says the same thing,
yeah, but everybody ain't telling the same lie, bro.
and that's my point. You got
I'm
certain
just
people
saying,
literally.
everybody ain't telling the same lie, bro.
You got other people literally saying that he's the devil. And being this is a deeper dive dialogue, I'm not going to take the cheap route on you, but I'm also not going to force feed or spoon feed. Look into this yourself. When you have certain ritualistic practices in certain organizations, they involve acts that would defile another human being, that would desecrate their humanity to bring them to a point of brokenness so that they can be refashioned by those who feel that they can better guide their star. Okay?
Yeah.
Just look into it. Don't take all these shorts and videos and lives that people are going off on. Look into it for yourself if you care enough to. Not saying this might not be something that the average person or most people really, think about twice a day, if at all, twice a month, once a year. However, if you're interested by it, just look into why would someone be viewing someone else in the act. I mean, people have their kink, right? But if these people are doing this and it's not, how can I put this? It's on a not on a graduated level, like how a person goes from like S&M to like torturing animals and then eventually becomes a serial killer. But let's just look at that like in order to maintain a certain energy around you, you have to participate in said rituals, which, ritual is just like an orchestrated set of actions. You stand here, you hold this, you kneel, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this happening? Why are white candles every single time? Not scented candles, not incense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of religions and spiritual systems. And listen, to each their own. I'm just saying, everybody's not telling the same lies, just like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you talking about you getting into some eyes wide shut type shit
And that's just the surface.
for right, for shits and giggles.
When somebody snuck inside the Bohemian Grove and got video footage of them burning a wicker man, burning in effigy, these ritual sacrifices just being done sacrimoniously or ceremoniously without an alleged victim. What comes next? That's just that event.
Right.
That event is
That's
kind of
that's
mainstream.
practice. That's
That's
practice.
what so
That's
when you
practice.
got multiple people of note, of notoriety, not necessarily equal fame, but almost as famous or have been working with this famous person, and they say, "Oh, he's the devil." Maybe that's a title as opposed to looking at it full on religiously. Maybe that's a title or position that only one person can hold for a certain span of time until they choose another one. And then within the hierarchy, you have those up under that are
Yeah, I was
next in
about to say,
line.
or somebody graduates to that spot.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
thing. Look into it.
yeah.
It's gonna take some digging, but might not take as much digging as you think. But yeah, man, we're definitely witnessing stranger things. Uh, and of course, a lot of this stuff is orchestrated chaos. It's a distraction from what's really going on the
Of
world
course,
stage.
of course.
You know, we got a full-fledged genocide taking place,
Yeah,
allegedly, in Gaza. Um, Someone who commented on that recently was Miss Candace Owens. Lover or hater, she speaks her truth to power. Um, she had some differences of opinion that were expressed in a way that some viewed as anti-Semitic tropes. And she had some of these discussions with two different rabbis on two different occasions. And she left the Daily Wire. Whether she was released, terminated, no one's confirming, no one's speaking out on that. And that might be due to some existing or pre-existing agreement between her and, you know, the founders or owners or the management at the Daily Wire. I thought she had a hot podcast, regardless of whether I agree with her opinion on certain topics or not. It was wonderful to see an intelligent, you know, woman speaking boldly on her beliefs and also hearing other people out who normally she probably wouldn't even be in the room with. You know, it was a very it's a very good podcast that she had put together. In my opinion, once again. Um some of the wording they got her, you know what I mean? If you look into it, those are typical tropes, as they call them. I don't know why theirs get to be called tropes, and when it comes to other ethnic groups, they're slurs or pejorative statements. But
The narrative.
mm, care to expound?
I don't want to be. I don't want to trope or slur anybody, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Hey, shout out to the Jewish people. I love Jewish
Oh,
people. Um,
definitely.
I don't agree with the Israeli government on everything that they do, and especially not what's happening right now. Um, I wish that my people had the same degree of defense and ready cancel response for those who don't like us. But hey, that's not to take away anything from them because that's genius. But it's also unfortunate where free speech is limited in such a way that even if you don't say something criminal with criminal intent or to cause harm intentionally, um, it can jeopardize your livelihood or people's view or opinion of you as an individual because we sometimes forget that human thought evolves. You know, there's a guy right now that I just got hip to. I'll probably become a subscriber, but he was a former racist, and he explains how he changed his ideology and his path and his thought pattern um, through one particular life-threatening event in which he was forced to kind of consider the humanity of the persons that were assigned to uh, his recovery, being, you know, one of the groups of people that he thought he hated. And I think that human beings should be afforded the opportunity to change. Um, do I think that every bit of mindless garbage should be able to be spewed just because we have platforms now? I don't. But do I think that someone has a right to take up agency and make the decision to silence them. Not necessarily either, you know. But what's your thoughts, man? I'm sorry, I've been wanting to talk about that too, but I want to get more details.
Freedom of speech is free until it costs you your job.
Oh, say that again.
Facts. Facts.
I think we've even seen with MJ, meaning the greatest, Michael Jackson. They don't print enough fuck you money to go against certain people. So tread carefully. I ain't gonna say tread lightly, but tread carefully. And Candace Owens, regardless of whatever this might strike me as popularity or unpopularity for saying, I wish you the best. I hope you make the best choices from here on out.
It's your platform. You're free to say what you want.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think the sister has a lot to offer intellectually. Like I said, I don't agree with everything that she espouses. I don't agree with her approach to expression of certain things that she espouses either. But I hope that she'll learn from this. Hey man, it would be awesome to see her evolve into someone that could actually unite, people who just want to see a better America. Let's put it that way. For all, not just one group or another. And I'm not just speaking of Republican or Democrat, but I mean just across the board, like
as a human race.
Indeed.
Yeah, no doubt.
Indeed. I think it's important to have polarity. Everyone can't have the same opinion. And sometimes that polarity is needed to draw out further truth that may be overlooked by more than one party involved in the conversation or debate.
Most definitely. Most definitely. You actually come to solutions that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Facts. Well, man.
For sure.
We've been around the block and back again. Now, but yeah, thanks for your support. Shout out to the new subscribers. Shout out to the previous and current subscribers. We appreciate your support. Like, share, subscribe, watch. Check out our shorts. Check out the channel. Give us feedback. Positive, negative, it don't matter. Just,
Yeah, we are not how can I say this? We are not above critique.
Absolutely.
But don't try and come for us because we come back with a vengeance.
We got jokes. Yeah, we do. Especially Goldtron. Y'all think he quiet, don't you? Yeah. But yeah, don't try to come for us like that. But yeah, definitely give us feedback. We are not easily butthurt.
Facts.
Absolutely. But yeah, man. Thanks for joining us with another Deeper Dives Dialogue Unlimited podcast.
Yeah, buddy.
The splash specialist and the dive instructor. Yes, indeed. Bringing it to you every single week. I mean, sometimes we kind of go on impromptu hiatuses, but we try to make sure we make up for it for y'all.
Word.
But the more y'all that watch, the more we will definitely put that aside for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Yeah.
All of this is for entertainment and education purposes only, though. Thanks for joining us. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. We out, y'all.